the camera, Will, if you wouldn't mind.
Well, come on.
Look,
Will, let me direct this. I've been a head coach a lot longer than Buck has. How you doing, brother? Good to see you,
my
man.
God,
Here.
Will Levis has just made his way over to the broadcast setup. I don't mean to make you. Okay, Mac, it's always good to see you. I don't mean to make you feel bad, but you just kicked Coach Mac off the show.
Hey, I'm just doing what I'm told to do.
Let me tell you something. I coached for 31 years in this league. I coached 31 years in this league, and I've been anything from an assistant coach to a head coach. And you know who's the most important people are in this whole operation? Players. I'm glad to give you my seat.
Thank you.
Here, Buck.
Spoken like a great coach.
That's Coach Dave McGinnis of Titans Radio up here in our broadcast setup. Yeah, this is only the most professional operation. Mm-hmm. How you feeling, boss?
I'm good.
You enjoying yourself?
Yeah, it's been awesome. About 2 weeks into camp right now, and it's at the point where we almost got like everything in, So,
yeah.
It's a lot of just remembering all the stuff we have in and executing, and now getting into situational type stuff with the 2-minute and everything. So it's really exciting. I've been having a lot of fun.
You have been able to do the thing that we hear coaches talk about the most. Stacking days at this point. You feel like you've put together, and I know conditions out here a little different today and seem to be, just from our vantage point, we're looking at a very far distance, I would say, so I don't want to take too much away from things that I might have seen or not seen, but it seems like you have been able to stack some days consecutively here, and it seems like you're getting some good opportunities.
Yeah, that's the only way to get more opportunities. It's the only way to, stand out, is just to day after day come in and continue to do your job. Today was one of the days where I felt like it wasn't up to my standard, regardless of what the conditions were, But, I feel like I've had a really good week, and having those days in a row, stringing those days in a row, gives me confidence, too, as well. So, just got to come in every day, clean slate, forgetting how the day previously went, but it's really important to do that.
Are you having fun, though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Like,
football's fun.
Every time I get you guys over here, it's all very serious. It's all very training camp. Everybody, and I understand you got to be, but like, I hesitate to ask that because I know that these things are. Your professional careers are now staked in this, and it's obviously a much higher level of competition. But like every time one of y'all sits over here and starts talking very seriously about this, I'm just like, damn, y'all having fun out there?
Yeah, you gotta love it. I was talking to Derek before practice, and it's raining and the mood's a little low, and he's getting the juice up. He's just talking about just how much he loves this, and it's true. You got to do this for a living and to be successful at it and to do it for a long time, like a guy like Derek has. Even if you're great at it, you got to love it too. So that's what I love about this locker room and this culture, is that we just got a bunch of guys that love ball.
What can you tell us about your rookie class as you get to know your teammates a little better? What can you tell the audience about them, that something they might not know yet? I think something that they need to know ahead of a season.
I think it's just we have a very mature rookie class. It seems like all the guys have really good heads on their shoulders. They do the right thing. They do what they're told. Just very respectful and coachable guys. So as a group, I've been very, very, very proud of just how we've conducted ourselves since we got here.
Is the fact that you are a very mature group the reason that you are so collectively, I hear, bad at telling jokes?
Oh my gosh, that's probably the one thing that we need to improve on. It's been bad. We either got to tell a joke or go up there and sing or something, and it's not good when you don't have a joke, because you got to come in before 6 a.m. the next morning to meet as a group and think of jokes.
And come up with jokes before 6 a.m.
I don't know if that would go against any scheduling violation. But
no, certainly
not
not.
Required.
Not
Definitely
for the purposes of joke planning.
100%.
Nothing.
Yeah. But I've been telling guys about this great website called Google, where you can find some nice jokes on.
I just have to feel like there has to be lists of terrible dad jokes, if nothing, to get like a cringe laugh out of people.
Yeah, you got to be careful though. It's got to be a joke that can get the whole room laughing, and it can't be lame. So it's good to have a little edginess to it. Not too much, though, but, it's tough to get a NFL football locker room to laugh at a joke, so it's harder than you think.
Well, because a lot of these guys think they're funny. They may not necessarily – I'll say it because I know you just got here, and I know some of your teammates at this point. You got a head coach who thinks he's funny, too, but we'll get to Vrabel later, I guess. At this point, Titans quarterback Will Levis hanging out here with us. He's just wrapped up, what is this, day 6 of practices that we've been out here to be able to see, 6 or 7. At this stage, have you gotten used to hearing Titans quarterback Will Levis yet?
Still as cool as ever.
Yeah.
It's a dream come true, my dream job, and it's got a good ring to it, I think.
So I have a question, and I'm not sure how to ask it other than to say, You're a quarterback coming from the University of Kentucky. You're playing in the state of Tennessee. Tennessee and Kentucky have famously had a rivalry in the SEC East. Are they being nice to you here?
I mean, everyone I've encountered has been nice to me.
Okay.
And I mean, I don't know what it's like on social media or whatever, but everyone that I've met in person and that I've been able to meet and just fan-wise, and a lot of them have been Tennessee fans. Have been very opening or very welcoming and loving. So I mean, it's been great. I mean, I'm just gonna go out there and make all the supporters of this team, or try to make all the supporters of this team as proud as I can with how I play on the field, and that's all I can do.
But nobody's bringing up like SEC East competition. Nobody's rehashing old games. They're just excited to have you here and all these things.
I haven't, not in person. I haven't heard anything about that yet. But nah, I mean, it's going to be fun. Continuing. Obviously, I'll be a Kentucky guy for life. So, and as many Tennessee fans as there are here, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Well, you've got to know that the individual on the Zoom call in front of us here, my executive producer who's back in the studio, he is a Tennessee alum. Our board op, Jackson Williams, is a Tennessee alum. I went to Indiana, so this is about as hostile an environment as we could have dropped you into. And the reason that Lucas is moving nervously in his seat is because he knows I'm about to embarrass him. Do you want to tell Will Levis that you advocated for Hendon Hooker over him here, or do you want me to do it?
Listen, well, you know how Tennessee fans get. You get exposed. You've been exposed to them plenty of times. But here's the thing about this show. We don't believe in accountability on this show, and we throw each other under the bus on this show. So what I'm going to do here is squirm out of this situation. And what do you find more shameful? The fact that I'm desperately trying to squirm out of this situation, or the fact that Buck's face is slightly frozen because he got Botox yesterday?
I think it's got to be you squirming out of the situation, because if you're going to have a take and then you get confronted with the person you have the take on,
coward,
you got to be able to tell it to their face. So I'm sorry, but it's not a good look on your part.
That's completely fair. It's completely fair. But you're here now.
And it can only be a good look on my part because my face is literally frozen in place after yesterday. It can only be a good look at this stage.
Your smile looks ridiculous.
That's Lucas Panzica, ladies and gentlemen. So at this point for you, I talked to you earlier, maybe at some point last week, about kind of carrying things over in the spring. We talked to Vrabel at some point this week about how you're kind of feeling things out as far as your touch on the ball, kind of identifying when to gun it, when to layer it in there. How has that feeling out process gone for you so far, and what have been the results of what have you been working on to kind of get more comfortable?
Well, I think it started with my preparation and getting to understand the playbook better, and understanding what types of throws are necessary to throw to what routes and what concepts. Like, a certain ball can be different, even if it's the same route, but in a different concept because of the timing or because of who's running it or because of the leverage we get. So studying like the spaces that we're trying to get it to in zone, where those balls will be caught, getting extra throws and just continuing to work on it, and in individual periods just experimenting and working on how I can put a little more touch on this type of throw or when I can drive it, mixing in the elements like this and experimenting with knowing how to throw when it is rainy out here. That's really, really important. Yesterday was my first time throwing with an NFL ball in the rain, so I mean, figuring all that out, I just feel like I've made some strides in that area since the spring.
So as you continue to make progress and things like that, the thing I think I've enjoyed, other than the competition playing out on the field, is the fact that you and Malik are competing for a job. Everybody's competing for jobs out here. But the fact that you two seem to legitimately at least have started to form a friendship, it's not always the case in situations like these. Like, what can you tell the audience who's listening about how that's come to pass and how much you two are enjoying not just the competition but each other?
Yeah, I mean, I like Malik as a person. Like, if I didn't play football and I met him, I feel like we'd get along really well. And it just so happens that we're in the same meeting room every day, and we talk more with each other than anybody else on the team just by the nature of the position that we're in. And, I mean, he's been great to learn from and great to watch, and he's a heck of a player and a great friend of mine.
It looks like the wide receivers and defensive backs thus far. I know Arden is out there loud and Jeff the same in the offensive line and defensive line. Now that the pads are going on, that's heightened the level of competition. But like what you guys have going on down the field looks about as much fun to watch as anything that I've seen out here thus far.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely fun to watch. We've been talking about trying to get some more energy just out of our offense, like being more excited. You see the defense getting a lot of energy out there and making plays on the ball, and even if it could have been PI in a game, you see them going crazy. They don't care. That's just any defensive
well, it's
back.
like
And it's like you see that and you're like, oh, like what are we doing, guys? But you gotta love it as a teammate and seeing your team just getting pumped. So I mean, on the offensive side, we're bringing an emphasis of getting more excited and emphasizing that football's hard and we got to celebrate when things go well.
Well, because I asked Chig who the best trash talker is. I think it's DeAndre, but I'm pretty sure that's reserved for social media. At this stage, the man is an assassin.
Yeah, that 24-hour period was killer.
Getting after it a little bit. But, like, I asked Chig who's the best trash talker on the offense. He said we have too much going on. Like, we have to get in our place. We have to make sure the play call's in. We have to make sure the offensive line knows the call, all these different things. Like, we got too much going on. The defense just runs at us. So is that where the focus, maybe, not necessarily lack of energy, but like you guys are focused on what you're trying to accomplish, and meanwhile Arden is screaming and running across the line.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like how I've always been as a player too, and just quarterback. Got more stuff going on than anybody, so maybe on a dead ball or something I could chime in and say something to somebody, but when you're in between the lines and the play clock's going, there's really not time for that. And yeah, I wouldn't really be able to point to one guy either on our offense right now, at least, that who would take that title. But I'm okay with that at the moment.
What are you about to do after
right now,
this? Yeah,
get some lunch. I mean, I've been very impressed with the spread that we get every day here.
I hear it's much nicer than ours.
It's solid. Probably get some treatment in, and then we got a meeting at 1:15. So.
All right, my dude. Well, I appreciate you stopping by. Continued health and success, and look forward to seeing how things play out here on the field.
Thank you so much.
That's Titans quarterback Will Levis. You'll hear from Titans head coach Mike Vrabel coming up next.